Did you know that wealth has different levels? And unlocking untold financial freedom is all about knowing the secrets of each level of wealth. Now, if you're eager to find out where you currently stand and learn what it takes to level up, then you're in for a treat. In today's video, we'll reveal the 5 distinct levels of wealth and the keys that come with each one. We'll go deep into the inner workings of each level so you can gain a comprehensive understanding of your journey toward unparalleled financial freedom. So, if you find this intriguing, make sure to stick around as we dive into each level in detail. Level 1. The top 1% with an income ranging from $200,000 to $10 million a year. This is the first level of wealth, and the people who are at this level are often referred to as the top 1%. It's associated with immense affluence because the people at this level earn over $200,000 annually, putting them in the top 1% of earners worldwide. But here's the thing. Being in this bracket doesn't always mean living a life of opulence. Sure, you can afford a nice home and a fancy car, but the expenses that come with it can be substantial. So, financial security isn't always guaranteed. And chances are, you still need to work a full-time job to make ends meet. As such, beyond this level, wealth is measured by net worth rather than income. As you accumulate more wealth, your assets grow, and your earnings go beyond just a regular salary. Level 2. Having a net worth that ranges from $10 million to $30 million. At this level, all your needs are fully met. This means you can enjoy a life of utmost comfort. Maybe you even live in an exquisite home and often get to fly first class on international trips. And on special occasions, you might even treat yourself to a staycation in a fancy suite that costs $5,000 a month. Plus, you have the financial means to afford healthcare and no longer have to worry about dealing with any unexpected financial emergencies. Yes, you have all these material comforts. But true wealth, where money becomes less important, still seems to elude you. Even with your above-average network, it's still important for you to be prudent and cautious when making important decisions, especially those involving your finances. And in the world of banking, you're not yet considered to have an ultra-high net worth. Level 3. Having a net worth that's between $30 million to $100 million. When you've reached this stage, it means you've entered the realm of the elite. You're probably a key player or hold a controlling stake in a major corporation. And those luxurious 5-star hotels? They're like your second home. But you've also got multiple residences all over the world. As for your holidays, they're reserved for prime events like the Formula One Grand Prix in various locations worldwide, and you watch movies at the Cannes Film Festival. While the cost of your accommodation ranges from $10,000 to $20,000 per night, that doesn't faze you in the slightest. You also have your personal entourage, so others can only reach you through intermediaries. And at this level, your purchasing power knows no bounds. You now effortlessly acquire those extravagant possessions that ordinary people associate with wealth. Whether it's the most coveted cars, exquisite jewelry, or any other extravagant desire, you can get it. When it comes to travel, flying first class is beneath you. You prefer the privacy and exclusivity of private jets. But you know what? You usually go for chartered flights or fractional ownership through a service. That way, you spare yourself the burden of outright plane ownership and maintenance. As you reach this level, your social circle also goes through a big transformation. Suddenly, you find yourself hanging out with the bigwigs. Think congressmen, senators, and business and community leaders. What's more, you've earned the respect of those in such esteemed circles. The funny thing is, when you're surrounded by other ultra-wealthy folks, you might start feeling a bit inadequate. What do we mean? For instance, let's say you just got yourself a new Ferrari. But then, a friend shows up to dinner while driving their limited edition model that only 5 were ever made in the world. And while you had the privilege of dining with a local governor, your billionaire buddy tells you that they've had the honor of having a meal with the president. Simply put, you're still looking up to some people. By the way, we're on a mission to inspire people like yourself to make generational wealth, so make sure to subscribe if that sounds like you. Level 4. Having a net worth that ranges from $100 million to $1 billion. When you've reached this level of wealth, it means you probably own or control a business that's widely recognized, although your name isn't as well known or associated with it. At this stage, you're now a bigwig yourself, constantly hanging out with influential folks in the corporate world, as well as movie stars, rock icons, and the best athletes in the world. You're also free to go anywhere, always with an air of elegance surrounding you. You've even got multiple homes around the world, each filled with fancy cars, and if you want some peace and solitude, you know that your private island is always there, waiting for you. And a stunning yacht awaits to whisk you away. Even better? You can pretty much have any experience you can think of. Want to play tennis with the best in the world? Just get in touch with their team and donate $100,000 or more to their chosen charity. Then you might find yourself playing alongside or against them. If you feel like watching a private performance of your favorite band, for the right price, they'll likely make it happen. And if you're an art lover, chances are that one of your contacts can arrange for the curator of any museum to personally tour you around, even give you the chance to see rare masterpieces that haven't been shown to the public in years. Simply put, if you can imagine an experience, you now have the means to make it real. Your generous contributions and the fees you can afford to pay can connect you with anyone you want. Once you've got hundreds of millions of dollars, buying stuff becomes a whole new level of extraordinary for you. Like, it's now totally normal for you to have a team of people searching for the most extravagant version of anything you can think of. Imagine this: toilet paper made of 22-karat gold, retailing for more than $1 million. Well, you can afford to buy that. And hey, if you're going to throw money down the drain, why not go all out with a gold-plated toilet or even a bathroom covered in gold? Because when your wealth is at this level, you can have a collection of everything infused with gold. So how about a water bottle plated with 24-karat gold filled with water from the best water sources in the world, which also serves as a fancy designer masterpiece? If you're feeling extra extravagant, you could also think about getting yourself the most expensive iPhone in the world. It's got a 24-karat gold casing, more than 600 white and black diamonds, and even a screen that's made of sapphire glass. But hey, it's not like you can just walk into a store and buy it. You'd need a cool $15 million to get your hands on this exclusive piece, and well, you can give them just that. But here's the thing. At this level of affluence, to you, it's no longer simply about acquiring luxurious and extravagant possessions. It's now more about getting the rarest and most exclusive treasures you can possibly imagine. For instance, you might fancy a limited edition pen with more than 4,000 diamonds and is priced at an astonishing $160,000. And get this: only 8 of these pens are produced each year. Or, if you're into grandeur, you can dive into the world of art like many billionaires. Not just any art, mind you, but world-famous pieces from both classical and modern artists whose pieces get sold for millions at any auction. As you can see, when you live in the realm of immense wealth, the only limit to your acquisitions is your own imagination. Level 5. Having a net worth of $1 billion and above. Did you know that the number of billionaires on Forbes' annual rich list has been skyrocketing in recent years? Right now, we're talking about over 2,000 billionaires worldwide. And according to Forbes, the combined net worth of these billionaires is over $13 trillion. This mind-boggling sum actually surpasses the total wealth of the poorest 5 billion people on our planet. But you know what's even more interesting? When you reach this kind of level, the possibilities are endless. It's no longer just about buying fancy stuff or having incredible experiences. To start with, you gain access. All you need to do is ask your staff, and they can hook you up with pretty much anyone, not just celebrities. We're talking about influential people in politics and beyond. You might even find yourself rubbing shoulders with heads of state and having deep, meaningful conversations with them. Having $1 billion also gives you tremendous influence. With your wealth and connections, you can make a real difference in the world, not just on a political scale. Your financial resources have the power to transform countless lives. So, how will you decide to allocate your resources? Will you focus on clean water initiatives, support the establishment of new hospitals, or maybe dedicate funds to saving endangered species? The possibilities for positive impact are truly limitless when you have this kind of wealth. Here's another thing that sets billionaires apart that's often overlooked. They're able to buy time. They don't have to wait around because everything they need is taken care of right away. But you know what? Having immense wealth has its downsides too. Firstly, it's nearly impossible to establish genuine emotional relationships. You find it harder to figure out who truly loves you for who you are because your world is filled with opportunistic individuals. Your trust and connections with others undoubtedly weaken. Even dating becomes an unconventional experience. On one hand, you get to be surrounded by some of the world's smartest and most beautiful people at various events. But finding someone with whom you share a genuine emotional connection is a different story. Your valuable time leaves little room for deep connections with new people. And if you do connect with someone, the dynamics of the relationship can feel weird. Whether you end up paying for everything or have a partner who earns their own money, it creates a sense of unease. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, no amount of wealth can grant you everything. Death, the great equalizer, reminds us that money cannot solve the inevitable loss of loved ones, the deterioration of our own health, or the contemplation of our own mortality. This just shows that nobody really has everything. And if you found this video useful, then you'll love these. And make sure to subscribe and leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," and we will personally reply to your comment.